a nice big.
There. Now I can see everybody. Hey, how do you go about finding members to even attract? Sure.
Stan, I know what I've done in the past, and one time I was just shopping at a local store, a cute little local boutique. I met the owner and started talking about Rotary, and then I asked her to attend a meeting. So, and I did tell her how Rotarians really do support their members as far as business owners and things like that. So it was just perfect. That's one of the ways.
Yeah.
I was invited to join Rotary by someone who was in a small business group that we met for breakfast or lunch once a week. She invited me to join Rotary, and very shortly after that, I invited someone else from the group to join. So I think small groups, small businesses, things that you're involved with in your profession sometimes.
Yeah.
Word of mouth,
Word of mouth.
basically.
Maybe if you're
Personal touch.
Penny, have you ever used the pen?
No, tell me that. How do you do that?
Well, it's called your elevator speech. Okay, it's someone says, "What's that? What do you do?" And it's how you respond. You know, and mine starts with, "It's a symbol of my commitment to serve my community and my world." And then I go into things we do. How about a windshield survey?
What's
Can you
that?
Drive through
explain?
town. Look at the businesses. We don't have anybody from there or there. That's one way. And then make those contacts. I was
Do we-
a school principal. And the superintendent asked us in a meeting, what are we missing? What are we not doing? And I said, we're not connecting with our community. And a couple of months later, he said, what are we not doing? I said, we're not being a part of our community. And he says, great, you're going to be in Rotary. That's how I ended up in Rotary. And then a few years later, as a president-elect, I think, became a Rotarian. Dick knows when Dick Matthews, he was a governor who really expressed his caring for the world and his people. And it resonated with me. Okay, so yes, Donna.
I was also going to comment like what JJ said in Albuquerque, you know, with your small groups, many of Rotarians belong to other nonprofits. And that's another great way to, when you're with your other groups, to ask them if someone looks and acts like a Rotarian. I always bring it up. You should be, you know, you should check out the Rotary. So
We can
Sorry,
say
you say,
presentations at other nonprofits, no?
Can you say again, Monica? I couldn't hear you.
We could say like presentations like at non-profit, like at other non-profit profit meetings, maybe.
Yes.
exactly.
How about speakers at Rotary?
Speakers from the potential members?
Sure. One of the things
Yeah.
that I hear come up a lot is, how do we attract Rotary alumni? People who've been in Interact and Rotaract or a youth exchange. In most
the
districts,
idea earlier about having kind of a sliding scale for, or a
Mhm.
kind of a for membership where younger members get kind of a discount, as well as maybe seniors above a certain age or something like that. But yeah, I think that's that getting them from Rotaract to Rotary is going to be key for increasing the growth of, if you have a Rotaract club in the area.
Look at my Interact kids as future Rotarians.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the same thing is like, so I'm in teacher education at Wayne State College, and we're even, you know, we have some dual credit courses that's kind of a grow your own teacher program in certain high schools, as well as there's Educators Rising, which is a high school chapter. So, I mean, we're seeing this in a lot of other areas as far as trying to grow your own movements. And I think it, you know, every little thing helps along those lines.
So talking with that kind of line of thinking, I would add four-way test contest. It's kind of like penetrating the school and maybe the teachers that would want to participate in the future by interacting with them.
Dick has his hand up.
Dick?
Yeah, one of the ways that we have found very effective for attracting new members is with our cause-based clubs, which are clubs that are focused on a particular area. In one of the districts that I work with, they have formed a club that supports veterans. And so a lot of their work is dedicated to veterans. Another group is working with stopping human trafficking. We just started a new club in Tucson that started with about 35 members, all but 3 of them new to Rotary, based on the environment. So, we're finding that using a cause to bring people together is a really great way to attract new members.
I also think that in this day and age, we have to provide a little bit more flexibility. I think one challenge that we have in our club is we have a 7 a.m. meetings, which is great for a lot of retirees, and that's mostly who are coming to the meetings. But a lot of the younger members aren't making it. And I think it's because they have kids and they got to get them to school, or they got work obligations real early. You know, I'd like to see in the future some opportunities for meetings. You know, maybe they meet in the mornings 2 or 3 times a month, but once a month they do like a happy hour meeting somewhere or something. Just providing some flexibility and some other options for members as far as getting together. I think that would appeal more to the younger crowd.
Dan?
You know, Albuquerque has a club that meets at different places from month to month. So that seems to be something, and no meal, no that kind of thing. So it lowers the cost and increases the I guess the availability.
Yeah, I would say that like with our club, we meet at a place that serves breakfast, but you don't have to get breakfast. You can just come and sit, and that's great. My mom, who's 84, is a member of the Rotary Club of Gainesville, Florida. And, you know, it's a pretty large club, but they meet at a hotel conference center, and they have a catered lunch, and it's pretty pricey to be a member of that Rotary Club. So I visited that once, and it's all the bigwigs in town who have money, and I don't see a lot of kind of diversity of members per se, and I think it's because it's a little cost prohibitive. So I like that we're making, at least in Wayne, making it accessible to folks. I just would like to see more, maybe some different options for times, or vary that up a little bit.
Jeff, your club does a satellite. How does that work in that sense?
Well, it's attractive to people who are interested in our club, but prefer a different time to meet. And so, and again, with flexibility now, it makes it a lot easier to have these kind of satellite groups that are still part of the club. They're still involved in the service projects and all that. They just meet at a different time because it's better for their schedule.
I guess, Jeff, so Wayne Rotary Club's pretty small, we'd probably have typically 25, 30 people at a meeting, maybe less sometimes. But I wonder if satellite programs even work for small clubs like that, where it's even can get a satellite of 10 folks who mainly just want to meet in the evening. How does that work?
Well, the main thing is that these would not be official Rotary recognized satellite clubs, which have their own board and all of that. These are just factions that meet at a different time. And again, we've got the flexibility to do it. It's just not the formal Rotary recognized satellite clubs. Even regular meetings can move around to different times if it caters to the membership. The challenge is that we provide Rotary with information about where we're meeting and when. And so if that moves around, it gets confusing to, let's say, people that are visiting. So the marketing part becomes a little tricky, but for the membership, it's whatever works for them. We're going to break at 10 o'clock.
I need to interrupt for just a minute. We're running short on time. I want to let you know that we need someone to report for the group. And Dick, myself, and Jeff are not eligible. So it needs to be one of the others. So anyone want to volunteer?
I can
Anyone take
volunteer.
notes?
I did.
Okay.
Yay,
Thanks,
Monica.
Monica.
Yay,
All right, I'm going to
Monica.
close.
Thanks, Monica.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Hey, James, welcome back. All right, so I guess we're, let's see. Oh, let's take a look at the list. It was supposed to be in
It's
chat.
Yeah, and Jesse, you can float.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do.
You can do what?
I'm
Jesse
just
can-
gonna float. I'm just gonna wander the different rooms and just.
Oh, I will. Okay, I see. So communicating effectively, that's what I'm looking for. I don't see it.
Not show up. Okay, yeah, it's the very last thing in it's just a list of topics in case you need a reminder. But the idea is, what areas are working for you? What problems do you have in communication?
Our club uses this club runner system, and it sends out notification emails if volunteers are needed for a certain service project, and it'll even, so you click on the link and you can sign up through there, and it just is very kind of convenient way of housing who's helping with what and communicating all of that.
If I can add one quick note about email through Club Runner, which is great, is that reply all doesn't do anything because you're not seeing all the other emails, and there's a lot of reply all tendencies. And I'm now seeing people put in their communications, I don't want to see your replies alls unless they're irrelevant to everyone. And it's a good reminder because it's very easy to do that. But in Club Runner, you can't. So that's one advantage, although there are times when you want to do a reply all if it's relevant.
Yeah. So I
What's your
guess,
solution to that, Jeff?
yeah.
I'm sorry?
What's your solution to that? Just go outside of Club
again,
Runner for those?
if you, let's say you're doing like brainstorming by email. Okay, everyone, we're gonna have an email exchange today about how we're gonna solve a particular club problem. I wouldn't use Club Runner because you can't reply all. I would use like a personal email and have all the other emails in the, you know. So there's times when you want the email exchange and you wouldn't want to use Club Runner for that.
So I guess one question to start with is, in your club, how do you communicate? And what's effective and what isn't effective? Is there any, I think, and I'll give you, an example, is that right now, most of the communications that's taking place in the club that I belong to is done via the internet, simply because of COVID. Okay. What's the problem with that?
I had an experience where I'm relatively new to Rotary, so I was asked last year to get the volunteers. For every meeting we have 4 volunteers we need. So I went on Club Runner and I sent out a massive email, and I got very limited response. But when I got to the next meeting, and I had set up a spreadsheet with all the dates for the meetings, and can please sign up on what you can do at every single meeting. Very little response. The next meeting they said, my club was technically not as astute as maybe as they should be. And they said it would be much better to have a sign-up sheet at the actual meeting.
Yeah.
So now we go week by week with the sign-up sheet. So I as an employer, I ask my employees, what is the best way to communicate with you? Is it going to be text messages? Is it going to be emails? Is it going to be a phone call or in person? And many people don't even know what that is, or like they've never been asked that. They never thought about what the best way of communicating is.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to find out the best way to communicate with the Del Norte club. But yeah, it's checking back with people to make sure they got it. If I send out an email, I might ask 3 or 4 of my acquaintances, did you get that email that I sent out? I might ask them via text or a phone call just to make sure that we closed that loop.
Yep.
I just thought of an idea. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to say, I think there's a couple of things involved in what John was talking about with using Club Runner or one of the other programs. Sometimes the sign-up sheet process or whatever you're wanting the membership to do is more involved. Using one of those functions within Club Runner can be more troublesome than just sending a reply or picking up a sign-up sheet at the next meeting. And I think we need to be careful that just because we have technology and we can use technology, is that the right tool to be using at that particular time?
Yeah. Okay. And who else was, Jeff, was that you that was?
It was Christian that I stepped
Christian.
on top of.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Christian.
Maybe, and I guess I like your point, Dick, about the technology and kind of being careful with that, but maybe providing if you can provide multiple ways to promote something or to have sign up, so you could have like you said, physical copy at the meeting where they sign up, plus the Club Runner, plus some other thing, get have as many, maybe have multiple ways to share that information. I just got an idea based off of what a lot of my kids' teachers and kids' coaches use. They use the Remind app, and that might, it's not necessarily for signing up for things, but just to share information and have reminders. That's kind of a new trend that's becoming quite popular, that it sends text messages to you. That might be another way to kind of spread the word about things.
Okay. So anybody else got some thoughts? I guess let me open with this question. What's the absolute best way to communicate? What do you think?
I think it's, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, for our club, we have a very effective newsletter. So our weekly newsletter really does come across well. I mean, and it does lead to Club Runner, but it really does. It's one of the main ways I kind of know what's going on a regular basis. So.
Okay, newsletter, right?
Newsletter.
Okay.
I didn't
Yeah.
think about this until I wrote down all the different offices and how to communicate, but this is the blessing and the curse because we're not a large club. And so our secretary is our PR chair and does the newsletter and puts things on social media, types up the minutes. And so I'm not having to coordinate with 6 different people. I'm just coordinating with one. And I just thought that's the blessing and the curse. It's a curse for her because she's got a lot to do, but then you don't have miscommunication amongst people because specific roles are kind of confined to one. I don't know.
Well, one of the problems that our club has run into during COVID is the fact that many of our members ignore emails.
Oh yeah, I've
Yeah,
got
they
that.
don't even look at them.
Uh-huh.
And which, that's something, and then in which case, the only way to really make sure everybody understood, or, especially if it's an important email, is to talk with them, to call them and make sure that, or ask for a reply. And for those people that don't reply, contact them directly. To me, my question was, what's the most effective way to communicate? And I think it's one-on-one verbally, but we can't do that in every case now because of COVID. Right. So we kind of have to fall back on an electronic means to do that. And I know, Jeff, you run into this same problem, I'm sure.
Well, I'll be honest, it started out as a problem. And now it's an opportunity because, as an example, the younger members will say to me, Jeff, if you need to get a hold of me, send me a text or send me a WhatsApp or a group me or something like that. And they are very responsive. The problem is that doesn't work for everyone. So for me, if I want to communicate with certain people, I'm not going to rely on email. So it becomes more challenging if you want to send out something to everyone through one mechanism. That's hard. But they are very appreciative if they say, oh, Jeff, I'll respond if you send me a text or group me or something. So I'm resigned to the notion that it's not going to be a one size fits all. It's going to be what works best for them.
Gotcha. Yeah. So anybody else want to share? Effective communication, I think now more than ever, given the situation that we're all having to live with, is we're pretty much forced to do everything electronically because I know in my case, I have taken a special steps not to not to meet people face to face anymore. And part of that is not because of me, it's because of my spouse who had recent surgery, and she's more likely to pick up the the virus, and if she does, there's a good chance she might not survive. So I have pretty much, resolved that all my communications within Rotary are going to be like this. This would be great if I could communicate and you could see me and you could hear me and then you could reply back. It says, this is almost as good as being right, with you. But that's generally, Zoom. Whoops, we're going to have to leave. Zoom does give us that opportunity to at least see each other and know and get a, one of the things that I don't know if Jesse, did you talk about being able to see people and see how they react to things? It often tells you more than what they say.
Yeah, somebody did mention that, and I
Yeah.
agree very much.
And we've taken that away, except for Zoom. Okay, so in that instance, Zoom is great because I can see people's reactions to things, not necessarily what the words they say, but how they say the words and and how they are actually reacting.
Right, and you can tell if they're looking to the side, working
That's right.
on a
Are they paying
spreadsheet,
attention? Are they listening at all?
talking to their dog, whatever.
It's tough. So I guess the thing to take away here is when you communicate, you have to have some way of determining whether the message.
So Monica, I was going to ask you, since you're kind of in this business, do you have any software or a graphics tool we can use? You're on mute.
You're muted. I said, yes, it's already.
Perfect. So you should be able to share your screen.
Okay. Hold on. Sure.
Perfect.
Just kind of investigating about that. This is that. So I will be just using whatever you guys say. I will be just inserting here.
That's much more high tech than my granddaughter's crayons that I have.
But Jeff, you wanna guide us?
Yeah, so we just want those of you, especially the participants, to think about what we want on the coat of arms, what symbols, what language that reflects, let's say we were a pretend to be Rotary Club.
What first thing we could put on would be the world, because we're with Rotary, we're a worldwide organization.
I think we can do that.
So is it the Rotary, like International Rotary New Mexico? Or what kind of Rotary are we going for?
Well, we're a club, but I think the notion is that Rotary serves the world. So I think the notion
Like
was
that middle one, down one.
This one?
Oh,
No,
This
down one with the people around it. That's kind of neat.
yeah.
Right in the middle, yeah.
Love it.
I think the idea of trying to keep things simple, we should try to communicate the four-way test on there, because that's kind of embodies what we're about.
Oh, that's a
I agree.
cool thing. We
Yeah, and
have
if you
4
have,
fields.
you don't have
Yeah.
it, you can just type four-way test. We don't. If you don't have a graphic for it, we can just type it in.
Where would you like? I mean, I can search for the ingredients of four-way test, because is it the truth, right? So we can find the truth symbol.
Okay.
Lady Truth.
Or maybe even just put the words a word in each of the 4 quadrants: truth, fair.
Beneficial.
What's the last one?
Yeah, if you guys see, like, these are the symbols that comes out here
I
for
would just, I
now.
would just type it.
Goodwill and better friendship.
What would you say?
I would do just a single word for each quadrant. So is it the truth? So truth, and then fairness, and beneficial, and then friendship. No, what's the last one? Beneficial, all concerned. Does it build
Better
goodwill
friendship
and
and
yeah, I think that's a good word.
But then I don't know how you guys are seeing this, but for me, these coat of arms is just symbols. So I don't know how about words, but usually it's graphic. So if we will put like 4 words, then we don't have really much graphic, and we need to come to, you know, like symbolics, like let's say I did this here. These
I
are
agree.
like example of coats of arms. They don't have any, maybe they have like these kind of thing here, like a one wording sentence, but everything is visually described. So, you know, I think
What would be a visual representation of truth? I'm not sure what that would be. I think fair could be the scales, like you know, the weights.
scales, yeah.
And then I think friendship could be just like hands shaking.
Yeah. So for example, yeah, the scales, we have the scales here, for example.
Neat. You guys are right on track. Just checking in with you. I'll check back with you a little bit.
I mean, you could.
Okay.
Well, that's kind of hard to tell. That one right there with the heart or with the halo, with the halo right above it. That's like the Scout's honor for the truth.
Yeah.
This one?
So that's on the top left.
It's almost like an angel. All right, this one, and then so I will go ahead, and then we can maybe look for more, but let's try to find the, you know, because then it's just about finding, right? Friendship, right? Friendships. The hands, I think.
Yes.
I like it.
And then we can see, because here is more hands. So I think I would prefer more colorful hands, like these guys.
Yeah, so put that in quadrant 2. And the other one that you have on there, put that in quadrant 1. Yeah.
All right.
Then beneficial.
Beneficial.
What is going to symbolize that?
That's what I'm curious to see what a picture will be.
The wealth blessing is kalon honest, kalon larn, which means honest heart, pure heart. So would a heart serve?
Oh, that's a beautiful thing. Can you write me the sentence on the chat, please? And I will put it in the.
Heart is kalon, C-A-L-O-N.
Do we have a chat available so I don't make the mistake? Because sometimes even the spelling, it's like hard for me to
Yeah.
grasp it in my.
If that doesn't work out,
Okay,
another
benefit.
suggestion would be the plus symbol.
Oh, like the two hands with the plus sign?
Correct. Like we're adding, benefiting.
You want to get that one, Monica?
Which one?
It was the two hands and the plus sign. It was us. There it is.
Which one?
That one.
Oh, this one?
That one.
That one, that makes, I don't know how for you, but for me, it's kind of like the cross, like a red cross kind of thing, like a care. So I don't know what you guys think. And comparing to this here to the left where you have kind of, it's just too material for now.
What about
Let
that
me just
dollar?
do-
Go up a little bit.
Yeah. Let me just do this one. Like this one.
No, what
So
about
we
that
could-
arrow?
I
What
could
about those
change-
two guys with the arrow going up? Does that kind of remind you of beneficial?
That this one.
We all have dirty minds.
That can have a different.
Like I said, you all have dirty minds.
I could change something like here, for example, in this one. Okay, I will take this one. I can have these hands, but I can delete the cross and put something else like a plant, like the plant was here. I like kind of the grove concept. What do you guys think? Or like this one, right? Like this one with the star. Does that tells you anything? This one? This one's?
I'm all right with either the two on the bottom representing beneficial.
Right, so you guys decide. Let's make a. I'm also. I mean, I'm more into the
Let's do that
planting than the crop. Which one? This one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So then we have beneficial, we have truth, and we have friendship. How are we going to do fairness? Scales of justice.
Let's see.
Or a carnival.
Yeah, right. Fairness.
Hey, there's one there that has looks like a little Rotary gear.
Yeah, this one, no?
Is there one if you scroll down with color though with that? Oh, right above it,
This
top right.
one?
Top right.
This one?
No, top right is the
Oh,
same
this one.
with
Okay.
color. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, let me just find some color one with the beneficial. So. Oh, okay. So, but let me ribbon. The ribbon color, and let's do the ribbon with the words that that was presented to us. Let me just see if I can see any chat. I don't think Jeff, I don't think I can see the chat, right? Oh, no, I can. Okay. So what was the Latin words?
Dan knew it. Dan? Those Latin words that you were saying about
Oh, they're Gaelic.
Gaelic.
Yes. Colon honest, colon nine.
Yes, could you please put it in the chat?
Caolon is the word for heart.
You're doing your part to keep Gaelic alive, Dan.
Okay, I will try here. Okay, so G,
No, C is in cat, A
C.
is in apple,
Mhm.
L is in Lima, O is in Oscar,
Mhm.
N is in November. Is that right, Dan?
Yes.
Hello. Mhm. And anything, and what else?
Honest is O, like the word honest without the H. ONEST.
Mhm. Calon honest.
And then colon again.
Mhm.
Lan, LAN. Supposed to have a tent over the top of it, but
A tilde.
L.
LAN.
Okay.
And
Okay, I will do it. I just cannot do it. I need to do this. LAN. LAN.
That's the best coat of arms ever.
yeah.
Okay, guys.